So many of us really want the benefits of yoga, right? But life gets in the way. It's tough to find the time. Or maybe a good studio is just too far. Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty cool solution for this modern problem, what it looks like to bring an actual interactive yoga studio right into your living room. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're thinking, I really should do yoga. You know it's good for you, but your schedule is just completely packed, or the nearest decent studio is a 30-minute drive away. It can feel impossible, can it? And these are totally real challenges that stop a ton of people from either starting yoga or sticking with it. Okay, so let's really break this down. We're calling it the modern yoga dilemma. It's this constant tug of war, isn't it? You want that consistent practice, but you're up against the clock and the commute. So what's the answer here? Well, the obvious solution, and the one we're looking at, is to take your practice online. But hang on, we're not just talking about watching some random pre-recorded video on YouTube. No, the real goal here is to see how technology can actually recreate that interactive, in-person studio feeling wherever you happen to be. So, to see how this actually works, let's zero in on a specific example. We're going to look at an offering from a studio called Pratimoksha. Their whole approach is built around one thing: tearing down those barriers of time and distance by bringing their classes directly to you online. Okay, I know what some of you might be thinking. How can an online class really compare to being in a studio? And you know what? That's a totally fair question. Pratimoksha actually tackles this concern head on. They promise an experience that's designed to feel as close to the real deal as possible. So how do they pull that off? Well, this is what sets it apart from just a recording. You get live guidance from teachers. They can actually see you and give you real-time feedback on your posture and alignment. The whole point is to make it interactive and personal, and it works for everyone, from total beginners to advanced practitioners. All right, next up, flexibility. Because this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You actually get to choose the format that really works for your goals and your life. So, you've got two main choices here. On one hand, you have group sessions. These are awesome for that community vibe and for keeping you on a consistent schedule. On the other hand, you've got individual sessions, which are perfect if you want super personalized guidance for a specific goal. And either way, you're getting a full 60-minute practice. But look, let's be real. Any yoga class, whether it's online or in a studio, is only as good as the teacher, right? So let's talk about the experience and the credibility behind Pratimoksha. Who's running the show? 19 plus. That number right there, that's years of experience. And that's a huge piece of the puzzle when we're talking about trust and credibility. And here's what that number means. We're talking about more than 19 years of teaching experience from the founder, Miss Lalitha Viswanath. That's almost 2 decades. That kind of deep knowledge is literally the foundation the whole studio is built on. This quick timeline kind of shows you their journey. They started back in 2016 and have been working to become one of the top yoga studios in Dubai. But now, with these online classes, their mission is getting bigger. They're aiming to bring that same expertise to people all across the UAE. Okay, so maybe at this point you're thinking, all right, this sounds interesting. This could actually work for me. The big question then is, how do you get started? Let's break it down and keep it super simple. First things first, you gotta know when to reach out. So here are their working hours. As you can see, they're open most days with both morning and evening slots, which makes it pretty easy to find a time to call. Just a heads up, they're closed Saturday evenings and all day Sunday. And the best part is how simple they make the process. It's really just 3 easy steps. First, you give them a call for an evaluation. This is where you just talk about your goals and what you need. Second, based on that chat, they'll recommend the perfect online program for you. And third, you start your practice. That's it. It's that straightforward to get going from your own comfort zone. And here's everything you need to take that first step. You've got the phone numbers, the email, and their physical location if you're in Dubai. So if you want to learn more, go ahead and reach out. So let's leave you with this final thought. We've looked at how technology, when it's combined with real expert guidance, is breaking down those old barriers to practicing yoga. So the question is, are you ready to bring the yoga studio to you?